Welcome back, dear ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you're enjoying our Siemens and Guests show. And the later the afternoon, the more exciting the topics. Our final customer talk for today is about becoming more and more important, especially regarding digitalization, the digital worker. So, what is it about? It is a concept that enables operators to use cutting-edge technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality, and mobile operations to automate their work in the field. The goal is to digitalize workflows in process plants, operate remotely and paperless through electronic documentation, and access information and guidance via smart devices. This new way of working has been done in strong collaboration with Siemens partners and our customer LANXESS. But let's now ask those who are directly involved. I am happy to welcome once more in our lounge Eckhard Eberle, CEO Process Automation at Siemens Digital Industries, who will be hosting this next session about the digital worker. Enjoy.
Today, we want to talk about the digital transformation from a rather other perspective than before. We are talking about the digital transformation in the field. How can we merge the physical and virtual world in the field to create the connected or digital worker? Today, modern plants don't simply exist in the physical world. The digital twin creates an instant inventory of its current state. This not only helps operators to know what's happening in their plants, they can also use this information to improve productivity, ensure safety, and adjust to new requirements. Our thoughts regarding the digital worker even go a little further. The digital worker can enable operations personnel to use cutting-edge technologies like virtual and augmented reality and mobile operations to automate the work in the field. In the future, digital empowered employees will perform tasks safer, faster, and with higher quality. Involved technologies are virtual and augmented reality, electronic and paperless workflow, and electronic documentation. On top, in these various industries, we must meet strict industrial safety regulations. The digital worker is one lever to meet these requirements efficiently. Why is that so important? What benefits does the digital enablement of the field bring and how to get there? Let's find out if we can find answers to these questions, and I'm sure we will with my guests here today. I'm very happy to welcome Benedikt Efker, Head of Digitalization Production and Assets at LANXESS. Hello, Benedikt.
Hello, Eckhard.
And Ulrike Lehnhof, Corporate Account Manager at Siemens.
Hello, Eckhard.
So, Benedikt, I'm very happy to have you here. And this is why we have a very special use case, what we want to talk about today. And maybe we can start with a question. What are your requirements and what are the needs and the demands what you have when it comes to the digital connected worker?
Yeah, thank you, Eckhard. Generally speaking, that we believe the entire field of digitalization of production and maintenance must and can go hand in hand with the priorities of chemical production, which is first of all, and you mentioned it correctly, process safety, but also and of course improving reliability and availability. Second, we also strongly believe that the chemical industry will remain a physical industry, but and must be massively enriched with digital technologies. And if you look on our digitalization roadmap, the digital and connector worker is one very important cornerstone on that journey. But what does it mean? And finally, it's all about having efficient access to information from production and maintenance whenever required through mobile infrastructure. And you can see in a way that this data and information is accompanying our colleagues. And to make it specific, let me give you two use cases. One from production. Just imagine a colleague from a production unit is working somewhere in the field and requires an ad hoc value from, let's say, heat exchanger in a chemical plant. Through the concept of the digital worker, we want this employee to have this piece of information in real time available whenever required through this mobile infrastructure. The second example is from, let's say, a maintenance colleague who does some, let's say, maintenance, repair, overhaul work somewhere in the field with instruments. And all of a sudden he requires, let's say, an engineering document. And we want this person to have access on the relevant document ad hoc when he required. And you can imagine the reduction of workflow complexity if also that piece of engineering document or, let's say, piece of data is available ad hoc when required. I'm not saying we are already there at LANXESS, and I'm also not saying we are already there in the chemical industries, but I'm strongly convinced this is the way how it goes.
So, thank you very much for your first answer. Ulrike, the digital connected worker is a term used by various industries, various companies, and also in very specific contexts. What is your interpretation and understanding, and what is the value and the benefit we are creating here?
Yeah, for us, the integrated worker is an integrated approach to support or even guide nearly all kind of manual operations in the field. As Benedikt, this may be production, this may be logistics, maintenance, or even startup of a plant. As Benedikt already mentioned, having access to the data in time is a very important information part of it. But make work safer is also important. An electronic work instruction can even make work safer as any paper-based checklist can do. And imagine somebody is uncertain in a specific situation in a field. He can ask for remote support, can invite an expert via camera or send a picture or a video to get advice. And as you already also mentioned, documentation is important. If you have to document all the works done in the field according to the safety regulations, and we can do this without filling any piece of paper or signing any document. And of course, changes throughout the life cycle in the plant can be documented back to the engineering system. And this is why we are convinced it makes sense to integrate the virtual and the real world. Mm-hmm.
So interesting, and let's see how this transport then towards our customers. So Benedikt, let's come to this very concrete project. What was your motivation to drive digitalization in the field, and how did you proceed?
Yeah, so this whole project, let's call it digital checklist, and let me frame it along the 4 dimensions, the situation we are in. Number 1, we have a high amount of repetitive tasks. Number 2, a huge potential for standardization in that area. Number 3, a quite heterogeneous, complex IT landscape where such a checklist tool is embedded. And number 4, between all, number 1 to 3, a lot of manual and somehow paper-based processes. And to give you a dimension, we are talking about hundreds of thousands of so-called checklists in production and also in maintenance. And you can imagine the potential that is behind that if you get that digitized from a safety perspective, from an efficiency perspective, but also from an employee, let's say, experience perspective. It's just more fun. Where we want to go to, let me also give you that picture a little bit more precise. Finally, it's all about connecting data and connecting data with employees. And so our primary system is and remain ERP, which is not a surprise, SAP with LANXESS. However, then the paper and the manual processes kick in today. The shift planner, they do the arranging of somehow routines, which comes on top from SAP. They use a different system, a different media. The details are somehow developed and maintained in Excel and Word-based files, and let's call it also somehow personalized databases. Then those checklists are printed, and we are talking about hundreds of thousands of those documents per year. They are attached to a clipboard, handed over to our workers in production and maintenance. They take the clipboards, take a ball pen, go around, do their tick marks. And then once the work is done, it goes back to the shift planner, and subsequent steps today is transfer data manual from those checklists in some superior and subordinated systems like our ERP, but also plant information management system and plant documentation system. And then it's also about to file these checklists for the next years to comply with safety requirements. And this process, having that digitized end-to-end, provides huge potential, starting from ERP. Then somehow by magic, the shift planner can arrange and schedule his checklists, his routines, prepone, postpone, whatever is required according to the urgent priorities of the plant. Then once these routines are approved for execution, just by pushing a button, that checklists are transferred to the mobile infrastructure, which is mainly with LANXESS tablets and mobile phones. The guys in the field in maintenance and production go around, do their tick marks using their fingers, or even the infrastructure is voice controlled, voice supported. And during the execution of those checklists digitally, it's also possible then for our workers in the field to enter their observations in real time. And the shift planner, or let's say plant manager, has real-time access to the observation itself, which means a huge step in terms of improvement, reaction time, so on and so forth. And just again, these are about hundreds of thousands checklists. You see the efficiency potential that is there. And that's what the project is all about.
So this sounds great because it seems a huge step of productivity in the field, whereas in the past we've been focusing on engineering and the operations phase for the operators, but also for the service personnel and maintenance personnel, it's going to be a huge step forward. So we as Siemens are glad to support you. Why did you choose this solution?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the whole journey started about, let's say, 3 years back. And if you look on the requirements that we as the chemical industry have, let's start with technical. I mean, it is a system that needs somehow be able to get embedded in a complex IT landscape. Number one. Number two, the system requirement is to have one tool, be it for production, but also for maintenance workflows, which is not a given, which is a requirement. And in which state of the art, I would say that a tool fulfills that. Number three, the system must be opened to different third-party systems as well. Whenever we want to connect a database to that where information comes in, it's important. And last but not least, for me, one of the most important steps, which is not only for the MobiCheck tool from Siemens, but also generally is simplicity. Simplicity. Why that? Because if a technology, and especially a new technology, is simple, it is get better acceptance by the people who finally use it. And also the digital transformation is simpler. I'm not saying easier, but simpler. And last but not least, we have a footprint of about 110 plants globally. We were looking for a partner who can accompany us on that journey, and happy to continue and start the journey with Siemens together.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the collaboration with LANXESS on this project. We have a very open discussion also about how future work will look like for the people. And also during the trainings on our solution, we get really valuable insights on how to even improve our offering. And we already implemented some of the ideas into the product and have them available now for the upcoming rollout. And this is something what really impressed me, how much energy LANXESS put into it to bring the people on board and to create acceptance for the upcoming solution. That's really great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and very important for us is to get it first time right. And for this, we have only one shot. And at the moment, where are we in our journey? We are at the moment active in 10 plants in Germany. And as I mentioned maybe earlier, it's important to get our support functions straight from the very beginning. And you can imagine that MobiCheck is one piece in an entire ecosystem for connected worker. And many activities are ongoing in our backend infrastructure, such as preparing maintenance and inspection libraries, but we are also identifying new use cases that all need to be assessed and validated. And if you ask me also what's next, I would say also once traveling is possible after COVID, we will also then do first implementations in Belgium and the United States. Overall, we enjoy a strong pull effect from our colleagues, mostly based on an intrinsic motivation to use this new technology. And very important for us is to keep the momentum ongoing, fulfill the promises that we gave to our people and commitments we gave to our board, and consequently execute the project. And very happy to do that with Siemens together.
So this sounds great, and it sounds that it's not going to be only a success for LANXESS, but also we would see that a lot of other customers will have the same challenge and also might have to come to similar solutions when it comes to that, what we are talking about, the digital worker. So thank you very much, Benedikt, for your time and for your insights. It was very valuable. Thank you very much, Ulrike, for sharing with us, because I think this was really is a very important topic and brings us even further.
Yeah, definitely.
So, a very interesting topic, and I think we will see a lot of innovations in this field to come very much in the next months and years. Either it will be with future potentials, which we're going to find with future technologies. I would assume artificial intelligence supporting also the topic of predictive maintenance will help a lot. On the other side, also other technologies, which maybe autonomous robotics for the inspection and monitoring will help us a lot to get this further. So we are really happy and looking forward to elaborate and work together with our customers to drive this technology into the future, because it will bring us a lot of benefit for all of our customers. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for joining, Ulrike, Benedikt and Eckhard. I'm really looking forward to a face-to-face Achema in 2022 to see some of these concepts in real life, and I'm curious to see what has been achieved and accomplished with this digital worker concept by then. For sure, lots of success stories to look forward to. And now, let's take a short break and have a look behind the scenes.
Safety first. Of course, we are taking care of all safety measurements. No testing, no TV production with us. It's all about safety, and we even have a firewall. The communications team is being busy, and preparations are running full speed. Let's do a trick with Andy and give him a blackout.
Christine! Is that you again?
It wasn't me. Here comes the sun.
And action.
The teleprompter saves our lives. Always the right words and phrases to say.
But his spelling's terrible.
Talking about cutting-edge technologies, this is where it's happening. What are we talking about in 6.3?
Oh, it's here. No, it's 6.3.
No. Oh, Andy! And there is more to come tomorrow as the Siemens&Guests show will continue. So let us quickly unveil which trends and topics you can expect. Once more, the customer is at our core. We are very pleased that Dr. Hajo Neumann from Merck will be talking with Eckhard Eberle about modularization and flexibility in production. Being flexible seems to be the key driver and hot topic for the moment. So for sure, you should not miss out on this session.
And we are also looking forward to a panel discussion with customers Dirk Ramhorst from Wacker and Dr. Bernhard Kirschmeier from Vinci regarding the trends in process industries and their expectations on where their digital transformation journey is taking them. And then a topic that is very close to my heart and something I have been personally involved in over the last couple of years. I've invited Dave Tudor and Dr. Katie Murray from the MMIC, the Medicines Manufacturing Innovation Centre in the UK. And we will talk about innovation and new technologies in pharma through partnerships and collaboration.
Wow, so there will be dialogue, exchange and interaction. Brilliant. All these things that we have missed over the last year. But that's not all. We have even more in our treasure chest to get you informed and get you updated. We warmly invite you to join any of the many sessions which we are hosting during Achema Pulse. Just take a look at the overall agenda and filter for the exhibitor Siemens. Then you'll have everything listed at a glance.
And of course, it's still possible to connect with us spontaneously via this Achema Pulse platform. Our team is ready to take your call and to interact with you. Please use this opportunity and reach out to our speakers and our experts and ask those questions on those topics where you've always wanted to get answers.
Wow, you really seem to be very excited about it.
I am.
Great. Sounds too good to be true. Virtual, digital, but for real. Enough talking now. We hope to welcome you again tomorrow and have as much fun as we've had today. Until then, take care. Goodbye.
See you. Bye-bye.